Dan, Andy. Nice to meet you.
To space them out.
First resident on.
Still go back. No, I came through. We graduated. Oh, yes, I can. All right.
I'm Carol Byrne. I'm the chair for the Catskills Chamber of Commerce during this period of time. We do take turns being the chair, so we give every municipal leader an opportunity to take responsibility for moving the project forward, moving the many projects forward that we are discussing. I happen to be the appointed rep for the village of Margaretville, and as the director of the Central Catskills Chamber, I sit as an advisor on the board, so I kind of have two roles that I play here. We usually have, this is a regular monthly meeting of the Central Catskills Collaborative, and we always have a roll call of those appointed officials that represent each of the municipalities, so I would like to start with Helen.
I'm Helen Chase, and I'm the primary representative from Olive, and somewhere is Robert Selkowitz, and he's the alternative. We're actually pretty much equal status.
Doris Bartlett from the town of Shandaken. Bruce Berry is up in Maine, so he will be here.
Thank you.
Melinda McKnight, Town Council, Dunedin.
John Duda, Village of Fleischman's representative.
Second.
I'm Diane Belushi from the town of Middletown, the alternate
Marty Donnelly, Supervisor, Town of Andes, and Alex Addison, alternate.
Okay, thank you. So we have someone from each one of our municipal groups here with us today. Thanks for coming. We're just going to not deal with our minutes. We don't have copies of them here with us today. We want to spend as much time as possible focused on our program. Are there any community updates? Anybody from any of the communities that would like to speak to the group about a program, activity, something that's going on in your community that you'd like to highlight before we get moving into the guts of the meeting?
I'm Jen Jaffe, and I'm on the Pine Hill Main Street Committee, and our historic district designation has been submitted to the state.
Congratulations. Anybody else? Okay. We will move to the next item of business, the corridor update. Route 28 audio driving tour project. Brett Barry is here to talk about the project. If you can give like how this whole thing began and what you're doing with it.
Thanks. That came up quickly. I wasn't expecting to. My name is Brett Barry. I am the owner of Silver Hollow Audio, which is an independent audio production company in Chichester, where I live. And I was asked to speak today just about the updates on the project that we're creating, which is an audio driving tour. This is a tour that I conceived a while back, and then about a year ago I met with Peter Manning from the Catskills Center, and he got me involved with the Catskills, Central Catskills Collaborative to discuss the project, and working with them ever since, which has been a nice relationship. So just a little bit about the tour. Many of you know about it already, but it's an audio driving tour, tentatively called Catskill Mountain Scenic Byway Tour. Would start in West Hurley and go all the way up to Andes, so that tourists to the area can pop this into their CD player or download it online before they come to the area. And it would be a series of interviews with locals, give kind of vignettes about the area, what there is to do, what to see, places to go, and hopefully encourage people to explore the region a little bit more than if they hadn't had having the radio on or something else. It would give a historical perspective, importance of the region to the state, folklore, local traditions, and again, it would all be a series of interviews with people, locals in the area. 5 to 10 minutes of it would be about skiing in Bel Air. Another section would be about mountain biking. Another section would be about exploring Phoenicia. And it would all be tied together with narration. It would be not so precisely timed, but it would follow along pretty well with the routes, so that as you're driving, it would all kind of make sense. And you say, oh yeah, I just heard about that, and I see the sign for it there. So it's gotten support from the Central Catskills Collaborative. It's recommended in the corridor management plan. We've just signed on with the Catskill Center as our nonprofit partner, so that will enable us to get some grant money since we're not a not-for-profit. So it's already been a very collaborative process, and I think that'll help make it a really strong and engaging production. I've gotten a lot of input from the Central Catskills Collaborative, even just names of people, suggestions of people to interview and include in the program, people who know a lot about the area. Let's see. So where it stands now, we've just submitted our first grant application to the New York Council for the Humanities, and that would get us well on our way to producing this. Next steps would be looking for additional funding and beginning production. And I want to begin production as soon as possible because I'd like to have a full year's worth of activities as part of this tour. So starting now, with winter, I'll go up and do some interviewing and recording up in Bel Air and some of the winter sports, so that by the time spring and summer comes around, I'll have a whole year of activities and interviews that we can compile into the tour, and it'll be ready to go. So it's going to be distributed for free, and that's why it's important to continue to get some grant money for this. I don't want to charge for it. And also looking for support from organizations that have the ability to market it and distribute it, either in a CD format or online as an MP3, so that people can download it to their iPods or whatever they use before they come up.
How will people get a hold of it?
I'm sorry?
How will people get a hold of it? I mean, is there going to be a place where they can go and get it? Or?
Yeah, I think through organizations like Ulster Tourism, Delaware Tourism, they can advertise it in their travel guides as just a downloadable link or grant money. If there's additional grant money, we could also distribute it on CD, but that would be an extra expense. It just depends on who supports the project and how much money we can.
Well, one other thing is that it wouldn't necessarily just be for while you're driving, that it would be a program that you could listen to at home or when you're driving on the throughway, and it would have a story to tell.
Yeah, originally it was going to be much more timed to the route, but it's since transformed into a little bit more of a general overview of the area. It'll still make sense as you're driving up, but no, it's not required that you listen to it while you're driving. And it's also not just for tourists. I think locals will get a lot out of it too. It's going to be a lot of history and kind of folklore. I think it would be a lot of the content would be new, even to people who've been up here all the time. Thank you.
You've all been given out information, supplemental information about the scenic byway proposal. You probably have only had a few minutes to take a look at it, but it's an important document that responds to some of the concerns that we're hearing as we're going into the municipalities with our request for a resolution to support the draft plan. And Peter Mann, who I think everybody knows, has really been the heart of this project and the intellectual guide through this project for all of the municipalities, has put this Catskill Mountain Scenic Byway Proposal Supplemental Information document together. We will entertain questions about